Hi everyone and welcome, my name is ThomC, I'm a singer-songwriter and music producer from Belgium. Today we're going to talk about Ruby. You and I, a delicate rise, I'll never feel. We're not going to talk about the expensive mineral, and we're not going to talk about the 2007 popular song made by Kaiser Chiefs, and that's actually quite impossible for us French speakers to sing. We're going to talk about a new piece of equipment made by Acustica Audio, and it's a vacuum tube equalizer made in collaboration with VW Fern. They have developed a different technology to other companies called Victorial Volterra kernels technology, and it's basically dynamic convolution. So you may have heard convolution where you send an impulse response through a piece of equipment or through a space, and then you capture the results and you use that image of piece of equipment or space. Here it's not, well, they've done so, but in a dynamic approach. There are multiple layers, multiple samples of that piece of equipment that they've captured. The plugin is compatible VST, AU and AEX. I hope you'll enjoy this review. Yeah, I forgot to tell you about that, but it's actually quite important. It's got a fully functional 30 days trial period, which is very nice because the plugin is quite expensive. If I'm not mistaken, it's 225 euros, which is not exactly cheap, but let's see if it is actually worth it. The first thing that I really like about the plugin is actually the authorization software called Aquarius. It's really well laid out, and all you need to do is press install and it gets installed in the right folder directly. I know that you don't want to mess around with that kind of thing too much. You don't want the installation process to be too long and too painful when you've just bought a new plugin, and that's not the case here, which is really nice. There's also an updates page which is really clearly laid out too, so it's very cool. Another thing that I like is the manual. There's some information about the history behind the VT5 EQ, and I like just knowing about what the engineers had in mind when they made the piece of equipment they worked on, and it's just nice to know about the direction they were going for in terms of sound, and it's really well stated here, which I like. There's another thing that is pretty cool, and it's the fact that you can actually see the EQ curves in action. I think that kind of information is really valuable when you buy a new plugin. So this is the GUI of the EQ. From left to right, we've got a couple of presets. I don't know if there are more than two in the commercial version of the plugin, or whether there will be more in the future. But yeah, there are two starting points there. There's a low cut control, low boost, mid cut, high boost, a bandwidth control from broad to sharp, a high cut control, an input trim which actually adds some harmonic saturation to the signal, an output level knob. All those knobs actually control the ones here, so it's very straightforward. And there's this light bulb here which is pretty cool, which actually adds that harmonic saturation coming from the vacuum tube in the preamp. Today we're going to work on a song by an artist called James May, and the song is Elisa Jane. So I would like to thank him very much for letting me work on his song, which I really like. Very nice song. So thank you, James, for that. We're first going to listen to a bit of the song with all the instruments, just for you to have an idea of what it sounds like. Alright, we're going to listen to the acoustic guitars without any EQ on. Right, is it all bypassed? Yeah. Okay. I think it's really nicely recorded. The guitars have a very nice presence, and the top end is not too brittle, which I really like. We're just gonna get rid of some of the low information there, starting with setting the EQ on 40 Hertz, and we'll just push this knob up just to see what it sounds like. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a bit of latency between the time I actually make a change and and you can actually hear the change. I think it is due to the fact that the Acustica plugins rely on a different technology based on samples. So it takes a tiny bit of time, a tiny bit more time for you to hear the change. Let's listen to it like flat and then all the way, just for you to see when the change occurs. I think it will be more it will definitely be more obvious with another control. For instance, boost 3K here. It takes some time before being applied on the signal, but that's not too much of a problem anyway. Okay, so let's get rid of a bit of low end. I think that just about there would be right. Let's set it to 100 just to see what it sounds like. I don't know why, but I prefer it on 40. I think that for this particular song, I'd like to keep a bit of those lows. I don't want to change the tonal structure of the guitars too much. Let's cut a bit of the mids. There's a bit of I think it's a bit too present around 500 Hertz. Yeah, let's push it all the way and then go back step by step. Sorry if I'm not level matching now, it's because I'm gonna add a bit of top end as well. So I'm gonna boost the signal, which is gonna maybe level match itself. Let's see. Maybe not actually, so let's push it a tiny bit. The thing with acoustic guitars, I think it's very easy to just overdo it and to completely change the sound of it. So yeah, I think you have to be really careful as to what you do with the tone of your acoustic guitars. Do those changes carefully. I really like adding some 3K on my acoustic guitars. Let's maybe, tighten up the bandwidth a bit and see what it sounds like. Ooh. Oof, sorry for that. I prefer the 1.5 for some reason. I think it's more focused, and I think that it would cut through the mix a bit more in this particular case. I'm going to get rid of some top end now. I know that it might appear counterintuitive, but I think that getting rid of some of that very high information that we don't always need can actually just tighten up the track and make it a tiny bit less artificial sounding for some reason. So let's do that. Let's set it to 10k and see what it sounds like. Definitely too much. Let's go back to 28. Right, I think it sounds about right, but I'm gonna add a tiny bit more top end still. Because I just want to. Yeah, let's add another instance of the plugin. Let's add a bit of that 15, what is it, 16k here. Yeah, I like it. Let's listen to it in context now, without. With. Yeah, it definitely works better in the context of this song. I've maybe overdone it with that 3k thing. I don't know, it's a difficult frequency to play with, but I always seem to like it on acoustic guitars for some reason. So yeah, but be careful with it. Let's listen to the acoustic guitar with the mandolin, with the change that we've made to the acoustic guitar. You see, I prefer it without the 16k thing that I added. And that is because the mandolin is actually taking that set of frequencies almost all the time because of the treatment that I did on it. The thing that I did before when mixing that song is actually multi-band compress the acoustic guitar whenever the mandolin was playing. Basically, I was sidechaining the higher frequencies of the acoustic guitar with the mandolin so that when the mandolin plays, the high information of the acoustic guitar lowers, and it's pretty effective in that way. So I don't think that we need that second EQ here, maybe a tiny bit of it. Let's see what we can get away with. I think it's an important thing to keep in mind. People are very focused on getting their low end to sound right. And I've noticed that in my mixes in the past, but still now, I'm trying to focus not to make them sound too harsh or get too many instruments battling in the same frequency range. I'm trying to clear some space for all the instruments, and I think it's very important to keep that in mind. dB is actually okay, but it's just, I think we don't need more than that. So now let's listen to what it sounds like with and without the preamp on the master bus. This is without. Never twice the same. This is with, and with the input trim all the way up. Never twice the same. Now we're gonna get rid of a tiny bit of that low end, around 100, because I think it's a bit too messy there. So let's try and clean it up a bit. Never twice the same. Never twice. I think around there should be fine. Let's add a bit of that very low end back. So let's listen to that. Never twice the same. Never twice. Of course, it's very tempting to push it more, but I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to leave it at around 2 dBs, not more. Okay, I think there's a bit too much of that 400 Hz too, so let's see what we can do in the mid-range. Never twice the same. I'm gonna bring back some of that very, very high at 16K. Never twice the same. Never twice the same. Okay, let's listen to it before and after. Before. Never twice the same. After. Never twice the same. Before. Never twice the same. After. Never twice the same. So yeah, I think that now you've got a taste of what it sounds like. I think it sounds really nice on the master bus, and you can get quick results without having to boost a lot of those frequencies, and it doesn't get too harsh, which is nice. So really like it. If you like it, buy it. I know that it's not cheap, but if you want to achieve that kind of sound and if you like that kind of workflow, it could be something for you. I hope that you've learned a thing or two about this plugin and that it will help you in your productions. I must admit that I was quite impressed by the quality of the equalizer in general and about how it reacted on the different instruments. Yeah, I'll definitely be reviewing more plugins by Acustica Audio in the future. So please share this video, give me some comments, feedback, thumbs up, all that good stuff. And don't hesitate to tell me about your favorite EQs as well, and what I should review. If you've heard of a company that's not really gotten the attention they should have and I should try out some of the plugins, please share it with me and I'll demo some of that and try to review it as soon as I can. Thank you very much and see you guys soon. Bye!